Okay, can you just grab some scrap paper out the back of the book, something like that? What I want us to grab the opportunity to do is to find out or work out for you what it is you know. Okay? So without the use of your book or without the use of the textbook, I'd like you to get into these example questions. Now, some of you, we've got some people into 5D. Hands up if you completed all of 5A. It should be nearly everybody. Hands up high that have completed 5A. Okay, so there's a couple of you that'll just be doing these questions. All right. Once you finish those questions, you'll get into your class learning and I'll put the answers up. You'll check them off. There's no shame in getting 0 out of 3 here. It lets you know I need to do a little bit more in 5A. Hands up if you are in 5B but haven't completed it yet. Okay. You're going to try and do these 3 questions, which are tricky. Okay? Hands up if you're in 5C. You're going to try these questions. All right? And I think, Ryan, you're the only one, I think. Those of you in 5D, and Lee, sorry, and Beth. Okay? That shows how much I know. There's 5D there. Okay, there's going to be some questions there. So what you're doing here, you're saying, all right, I'm going to do these questions. I'm going to do them on my own because I want to know what I know. I want to know what I don't know, importantly, and I'm going to work on that. Okay? So can you just go ahead, please, and try those questions. Find out for you what it is that you know and what it is you don't. The answers will go up, and then you need to record whether you got them right or not. Try and shut your screens. Can you go back? I've finished B, but I haven't started C. Yeah, so just do A and B. So I'll leave these up, and then I'll put up 5D afterwards, okay? You just have to be patient. You need to stop me as we go in case I'm going too quick. Then just say, look, just stop there, explain to me how you got this. So can you two just shut your mouth? Excellent, excellent. Okay, so with this, what we've got is the distributive law, one of your basic laws. This one comes out, it was distributive law 1. Okay, everything outside the brackets affects that which is inside the brackets. Essentially what we've got here is plus 1, A take B. And so that 1 affects the A. 1 times A is A. And the 1 affects the negative B. 1 times negative B is negative B. Then it's a case of collecting like terms. 4B take B gives you 3B plus A. Okay. Hands up if you got 3 out of 3 for this one. Hands up if you got 3 out of 3. 2 out of 3. 1 out of 3. Okay. That's why I sort of put these arrows in to hopefully remind you that everything outside is affected by that which is inside. Okay. I have been, banging on about this, so we can check back over the YouTube clips for how many times I've said it, I guess. A times A is A squared. A times 2 is 2A. 5 times A is 5A. And a positive and a negative makes a negative. 5 times 3 is 15. It's a process of collecting like terms. So A squared, there is no other like term with A squared. There is a 2A plus a 5A, gives me 7A, negative 15. Okay, is there any questions with that? Any explanation required? The last one is what we were doing the other day, where we just dropped this down, just like we did with the 4B, just dropped it down. Let's drop the squared down, and then we've got negative A times A and negative A times negative 1. Negative a times a gives us a negative and a positive makes a negative. A times a is a squared. Negative a times negative 1, negative and a negative is a positive. A times 1 is 1a. And then it's a number line issue again. Alright, we've got negative 1 take 1, leaves us at negative 2. Hands up if that was an issue for you. Negative 1 take 1. Yeah. Alright, so it's a number line. When I do my test, I'm going to draw a number line at the start of the test because I know that's an issue for me. And I'm going to use the number line, and that'll take me 3 extra seconds. But you know what? I'll get the right answer. So negative a squared take a squared is negative 2a squared plus a. If you only tried these 3, you can go back on with your class learning. Now, 5b and 5, for both of these, the quirk comes in there, or the tricky part comes in the fact that there's a negative in there. What that negative does, or that negative sign does essentially, is it affects everything in here. Just this first one. So if I take this out, over to here, I've got negative 1 essentially, 2k plus 1. Now that is the distributive law. Ryan, it'll be important you watch here. I'm not sure you got these answers correct, so if you can watch, that would be good. It'll benefit your learning. We've got negative 1 and we're timesing it by 2k. We do the signs first, negative and a positive, makes a negative. 1 2k, 1 times 2k, I've got a negative 2k. Alright. Signs again, negative and a positive makes a negative. 1 times 1 is 1. When I go to my FOIL now, what I've got, because that last bracket doesn't get affected by it, I've got that, negative 2k take 1. Alright, I saw a hi, yeah. Georgie, does that help? Alright, this one here, this is going to become negative y take 1. Because that's going to affect that, that's going to affect that. When it's a positive, doesn't make any difference, that's fine. You just roll along. But the key quirk in this one is when there's a negative in between your two sets of FOIL, you know, you're doing FOIL here and FOIL here, that affects this first bracket. So that becomes negative y and negative 1. I can see some nodding. That's fine, it doesn't affect that because it's the distributive law affects this at the moment. Okay? So, you know, as I've said to you, let's not worry about this. Let's imagine this whole bit's not here. We're just doing the FOIL on k plus 2, k take 5. So first, k squared. Outers is take 5k. Inners is plus 2k. And last is negative 10. And then we don't worry about that. And if it helps you to write that, then write that. Your first is negative 2k times k gives you negative and a positive, gives you a negative 2k squared. 2 times 1, k times k is k squared. So all our basics, all our basics there. Outers, negative and a positive, negative and a negative makes a positive. 2 times 3 gives us 6k. Our inners is a negative and a positive, makes a negative. 1 times k gives us k. And last is a negative and a negative, gives us a positive. 1 times 3 gives us 3. Then a process of collecting like terms. Are there people that understand that now? I just need to see some nods or not. Can I explain it a bit better? That's alright. So a matter of collecting like terms. Same process of this with this one. So just think of it as negative y, take 1 times y plus 3. Collecting like terms gives you, again the only thing here would be negative 28 take 3. Some of you might have been prompted into putting negative 25 or I'm not sure what else you could have done there, but it's negative 31, remember our number line. The y's get rid of the squares get rid of each other. Y squared take y squared, gives you no y squareds at all. I was heartened with the other group, and some of you might do this as well, is when we do our FOIL for this lot and our FOIL for this lot, we get quite a long expression. It might help you to do the following. X squared plus x squared gives me 2x squared. So I'll just cross them out. 2x take 2x gives me 0. 6x take 6x gives me 0. I've done all them. Let me get rid of them. So by all means, cross them out. Number line issue, -4 take 36 is -40. So 2x squared take 40. Hands up if you got 3 out of 3 there. Most wouldn't, I'd expect. 2 out of 3. That's good. 1 out of 3. That's okay. That's still showing that you understand it. 0 out of 3. Yeah, so that's showing that you need a bit of extra work on those ones, all right? These ones are really easy. Remember that you square the first number and square the last number. There's a take in between. So we're squaring the first number, which is 3a, and squaring the b. Here you're squaring the a, and here you're squaring the -3b. There's a take in the middle. -3 squared, of course, is -3 times -3. Negative times a negative is a positive, which is 9. B squared, and there's that take in the middle. That's part of your rule that we've been through. Square the first, square the last. There's a take in the middle. 4x squared, take 49y squared. Hands up if you got 3 out of 3 there for 5C. I think that should be most of you that are in that. 2 out of 3? Nah, if you're in that, you'd understand that. Okay. So what you should now know, folks, is what you need to understand a bit more of and direct your learning that way. For those that are in it, there's a little bit more to come. I'll just put these next two up and you can attempt them and see how you go with them. Yeah, the answers are there. What do I need to do? I just need to pause that unless it's already off. Okay, I'll do the answers to this.
Is that the course against now?
Yes, it is. Yep. Yes, mate.
I'll take these guys back to tape.
Thank you. So this will be x squared outers, inners, last. And so what I should have done is not that, I should have used the other distributed 4. Square the first one. Thanks, mate. Square the second one, and then I'm doing plus x squared plus 2 times x times 1 plus 1 squared, which is distributive law 2, and then I'm going to have x squared take 16 plus x squared plus 2x plus 1. Like terms gives me 2x squared take 15 plus 2x. Yeah, geez, so I better pause that.